Good evening and welcome to another edition of the AGP Sportcast. I'm Samuel Gillis with your January 29 news stories. Thanks for joining us. Local shooters will be given an opportunity to participate in an exciting match sponsored by P&P Insurance Brokers and Consultants Limited this weekend. For the fifth consecutive year, this match marks the start of the year on the calendar of events hosted by the Guyana Sport Shooting Foundation. The match will consist of 4 stages, with each stage being shot 5 times. At the end of the match, the scores will be tallied and prizes will be awarded for the top 3 performers in each division. As cricket development across Berbice continues, the Berbice Cricket Board and Trophy Stall has agreed on a developmental deal that benefits cricket in a big way. More in this report. Trophy Stall has given a $500,000 grant to the Berbice Cricket Board as part of their ongoing development across the ancient county. Trophy Stall will now provide trophies for 20 different tournaments hosted by the BCB during the calendar year 2020. According to the BCB President Hilbert Foster, over $600,000 was used over the last 2 years on trophies, and this large amount of funds could have been used in other areas. The trophies would be for the man of the match, the runner-up team, and winners. Trophy Stall Managing Director Ramesh Sunish also handed over $400,000 worth of cricket balls to the BCB on behalf of a medical doctor who is an overseas-based Berbician. The balls would be shared to clubs participating in the ongoing BCB Under-15 tournament and members of the board. Ramesh expressed that Trophy Stall is fully committed to the development of sports as it is a safe avenue for youth to stay away from social ills such as drugs and crime. For HGP Sport, I am Samuel Gillis. Silver Bullets kicked the defending champion High Rollers out of the Guinness Greatness of the Streets Linden Championship. Stanford Howard reports.
The former two-time champions extracted revenge for last year's semi-final, compliments of Colin Drake's striker in the 10th minute. The first half conversion occurred as Drake slammed home with his favorite leg from the center of the field to stun the large crowd, which gathered at the venue. Silver Bullets was also joined by Amelius Ward's Russians and Swagger Entertainment in the semi-final section, following wins by the duo. Tournament favorite Swagger Entertainment overcame Presidential 1-0 on penalty kicks after regulation time ended 1-1. Prior to the penalty shootout, Presidential took the lead through Carol Anthony in the 7th minute, who blasted into the back of the net from just over the halfway line. However, Kwesi Quinnen equalized in the 13th minute from the penalty mark after Presidential accumulated more than the allowable 2-4 per half, followed a Bolton handball. Also, Amelia's Ward squeaked past last amazing 2-1. A Guinness goal in the 20th minute by Javont Waldron sealed the win. For the losers, Errol David netted in the 5th minute. Meanwhile, Quiet Storm drew a bye to the semi-final round, which is slated to be held at Christianburg Harcourt on January 31st. In the early Guinness Plate Championships, Barcelona defeated NK Ballers 1-0 on penalty kicks after regulation time ended 0-0. In their earlier match, Barcelona defeated Retrievers Unknown 1-0. Barcelona will now be joined by the losing quarterfinalists in the semi-final round of the plate section. For HGP Sport, I am Stanford Howard.
Vasper Drakes controversially sacked last year as part of a shakeup of the West Indies men's coaching staff, is one of the several regional coaches down to participate in a Cricket West Indies Coaches Forum in Antigua. The former West Indies all-rounder, along with head coach Richard Fibbers, and his backroom staff were relieved of their position last April ahead of the ICC 50 Overs World Cup in England. The 50-year-old joins a group that includes current West Indies assistant coach Rudy Eswick and former interim West Indies head coach Floyd Reefer. For the forum, which CWI said Monday would be the launchpad for its new coaching education program. New Zealand tail-enders secures their semi-final spot after they stood up to the boys in maroon to clinch the heart-wrenching quarter-final match. Stanford Howard with the details.
The under-19 boys in maroon failed to move on to the next round of the World Cup in a game that have everyone on their toes. The Caribbean side, which played with an all-round performance through the World Cup in the group stage, did so again with the bat, carving out 238 runs. Those runs came off the bat of Kelvin Anderson, 33, Antonia Morris, 31, and Kerrick McKenzie, 99, who got the boys to a positive total in temperature between 18 and 28 degrees Celsius. When the young Kiwis took to the outfield, the side that barely made it into the final 8 started sluggishly. This looked like it was going to be an easy win for the boys in maroon and placed them into the semi-finals, as the Caribbean bowlers had the Kiwis on the back foot for the majority of the game. At one stage, the Kiwis were 150 for 7. New Zealand's last hope was with the tail enders. They stood strong with Joel Field, 38, and Kristen Clark, 46, that saw the Black Caps over the line and sealing their semi-final spot with 2 balls to spare and 2 wickets. Also playing earlier in the first quarterfinals on Tuesday, the underdogs India bamboozled the Aussies after posing a target of 233 for 9. The Australian batting wasn't up for the Indian spin and folded for 159 in 44 overs. For HGP Sport, I am Stanford Howard.
And that's all we have for this edition of the AGP Sportscast. I am Samuel Gillis, thanks to Stanford Howard. Do remember, love is a common ground.